Hello everybody, it is me, Macy, and this video is going to be a little bit emotional. Also, I think I was wearing this exact same shirt in my last sad video, the worst day of my life, which, you know, this is just a part 2 to the worst day of my life. Yay! Right. But it started September 12th, September 11th, where I just completely stopped going to English. The first day I went to the nurse because I didn't feel good. I just don't like being in English. And I was also having kind of panic attacks during English because I was so stressed. The class is stressful. My teacher scares me. And I don't have anyone in that class that I am friends with. So it's kind of a hard class. I kind of had panic attacks about writing essays. We write different essays every week or two. And it's really stressful and really hard. So I thought that maybe I should just stop going. Bad idea, Macy. Bad idea. So I stopped going. It's the 14th of September. I went during 7th period, went to my counselor and confessed my sins. I was like, I haven't been going to English. I don't know what to do. I keep having panic attacks, and I was an emotional wreck because these panic attacks are really killing me. And so that was during 7th period. So I went to her and we just talked about it, and she was being really nice and trying to help me out. But she was like, well, if you don't go to English on Monday, I'm going to have to escort you to English. And I was like, okay, I understand. I'm going to try to go. And she told me that she would email my teacher and try to figure something out that I could do when I have a panic attack during that period, because I only have them during the 7th period. And here's where the fun part comes in. So last Friday, after I left her office, I wasn't having a panic attack. I could feel it starting, but so pretty much I left to go to math because my math is my 8th period class. So I am walking and we have a test. This day was really stressful because I had 3 tests. I had a bio and a chem and a math. Those are really hard classes. So I was done. I already took my chem and my math test. So algebra was my last test to take. So I am walking in and just boom, full-blown panic attack. And so I'm waiting to talk to my teacher, who's talking to another student. I'm standing right behind her and I'm waiting, and my best friend Haley comes in and she's like, hey, are you okay? And I just start tearing up. I'm like, no, I'm not okay. And I wasn't really expecting any of this to happen. Obviously I didn't plan for it and I wasn't expecting it. So so my friend Haley taps my teacher's shoulder because I was not about to. Teacher turns around and looks at me and she's like, yeah, what's going on? And I just started crying. I was like, I can't take this test. I can't do this. I'm having a hard time. As I'm crying, and she's like, do you want me to send you to the counseling office, which is where I just came from? The counseling office is where the social workers and counselors are, so people you can talk to. So I was like, no, I just came from there. She's like, well, what do you need? I'll do anything. Just let me know what you need. She's like, I'm not worried about the test. Screw the test. You'll take the test another time. No worries. And so I was like, can I just go sit in the hall with my friend, with Haley? And she's like, well, actually I didn't even ask to sit with Haley. I was like, can I just go in the hallway? And she's like, yes, you and Haley just go in the hallway and hang out. So I sat in the hallway. So that was before the bell rang. I have a 5-minute passing period. So I got there within the first minute of passing period. So my friend and I, Haley, were sitting out in the hallway, and I was like, the bell rang. So it's been 5 minutes. I was sitting out in the hallway for at least 4 minutes. And I was like, Haley, you should just go back and take your quiz or test, and I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. And so she went back to take her test, and I did laps around my school a couple times, and then went back into class, and that's what happened. It was a little stressful. I also went to apologize to my math teacher because I felt really bad. I don't know why I felt bad, because I couldn't control it, but I did. And she was super sweet. She is probably my favorite teacher this year. She's a really good human being and just a really nice teacher. She's a good teacher too. So that was last Friday, which was, what was that? Okay, but that was last Friday. This week, Monday, don't think that I went to English. Tuesday, I did go to English. And then the 19th rolls around, which it was Wednesday. And during 9th period, which I lab aid. So I lab aid for 2 different teachers during 9th and 2nd. It's my favorite thing to do. I gave up my open and my off period to pretty much help these 2 science teachers do whatever they need. So if they need me to file papers, grade papers or whatever they need, I do. Help set up labs, I pretty much do anything that they need me to do. And it's my favorite thing ever in the entire world. I email Miss I'm gonna have to cut that out. But I just completely said her name. So I email my counselor, and you have a counselor and a social worker. Social worker is who you go to talk about emotional shit, and I don't like my new social worker because, as you know, my old one left. Don't even go to her. No. So I'll stick with my counselor. So I email my counselor, and I'm like, hey, is it okay if I come down and talk? And so she goes, yes, like, come down now. And so I was walking to go meet to like the counseling office. I often sat on this bench for like a minute and a half, man. It was so fast. But I just sat down and just wanted to like think and just breathe for like a minute or like a couple minutes. So this bench is like right here, and the counseling office is literally like 100 feet in front of me, and then I could go in. So I was waiting, and so my counselor comes up, and she's like, what are you doing? And I wasn't expecting her to come and find me. Like, she just emailed me. I just left. Like, God, it was so fast. So she goes, well, come with me. And so I'm like, okay, I'm coming. I walk in with my counselor, and my dean is sitting in her room. And so he goes, do you know why I'm here? I'm like, I'm guessing it's because I haven't been to English in like 10 days. And he was like, you are correct. And my dean is super nice. I really like both of the deans at our school. They are so sweet and really accommodating and just really understanding people. I think that these two are probably the best deans that we've had. He goes, you're not a bad kid. Like, you have never ditched before, which is true. I'm not a ditcher. Never, ever in my past 3 years have I ever gotten in trouble, never been to the dean's office, have never been in trouble. And so he was talking to me like, yeah, you've never been in trouble, so I was really odd to see your name come up when I had to write your detentions. And I was like, yeah, I know. I just had a really hard time doing 7th. And he was like, okay, like, I understand, but let's work on getting you to class. And so he goes, now here's the hard part. I have to take something away from you. And I'm like, okay, I understand. The first thing that they always take away is off campus. So I was like, he was like, do you know what we're taking away? And I was like, my off campus? He was like, no. And I was like, whoa, you're not taking my off campus? And he was like, what else do you think we could be taking away from you? And I was like, I just sat there for like 30 seconds just trying to think of like anything else that they could take away from me. And I was like, man, I have no idea what you could be taking away from me. And he goes, you're lab aiding. And I was like, ah! Because this happened last year. But it was like a totally different situation last year. But I will talk about that another time. I guess I wasn't upset at first because I was like, okay, like, I understand, like, I messed up as a human being. Like, I didn't go to class, I get it. So he's like, okay, I'll let you. God dang it, I said her name again. So he's like, I'll leave and I'll let you talk to your counselor. And I was like, okay, thanks, bud. And my counselor is like, wow, you like don't even seem affected, and just started crying. Like, right after she said that, I started crying. And I guess it's hard because I really love lab aiding. It's my favorite thing to do in the entire world. Like, I give up everything, anything to do what these teachers need me to do because they do so much. And I just love being a lab aide. And so here comes the situation where I have to go explain to my teachers as to why I lost my lab aiding privileges. And so my counselor was like, well, they both kind of said this. So my dean and my counselor both were like, if you serve your 9 detentions and start going to class, we'll give you it back as soon as we can. And I was like, okay, I get you. So, that's pretty much what happened. And so, my counselor printed a new schedule with my lab aiding not on there anymore and with study halls or an open. So she tries to hand me this piece of paper, and I like feel so bad, but I hit it out of her hand and just bolted out, like completely left. So it was 3:10 and the bell rings at 3:11. I was bolting down to my 9th period lab aiding teacher's room because she's like one of my favorite teachers, and I talk to her a lot. And so I run in, so everyone's already gone, thank gosh, but everyone's already gone from that class because the bell had rung. And so I ran and I walked in, and I wasn't crying, okay? Like, I cried in But I ran into the prep room to get my stuff, and my ninth period teacher was like, "What's wrong? Like, are you okay?" And I just started crying, and I was like, "No, I'm not okay. Like, I can't do this." And so she grabbed my arm because I was trying to run out the door to go home. So she grabbed my arm and was like, "Just sit down, like, you're okay." And I was just crying, having a panic attack. So she called the dean, the girl dean. We have a girl dean and a boy dean. Technically, the boy dean is my dean because of, like, last names, and the girl is not my dean. But she called my dean, and she was like, "I just don't know what to do. Macy's having a panic attack. Macy's upset." And so, like 4 minutes later, both of my deans and my counselor walk into this room, and they're talking to me, being super nice, and they were like, "We're just worried. We don't want you to go home and do something that you're gonna regret." And so they're talking to me, and so my dean goes, "Okay, well, we want to check in with you tomorrow. And tomorrow, so out of everyone in this building, who do you feel most comfortable talking to?" And I said my counselor, and she was shocked because me and my counselor last year, hated her. Completely disliked her. And so she was really shocked and really excited because she was super happy that I chose her. And so he's like, "Okay, well, we also need a dean in there. We just want to make sure that everything's okay and no one's, whatever." So he was like, "If you don't want to choose me, I completely understand. Like, no hate, no worries." So he was like, "Well, do you want me or the other girl dean?" And I chose the girl dean because I just feel more comfortable with the girl, whatever. And so I almost did it. So my counselor walks me out. They actually, all three are walking with me. And my bio teacher is just chilling and watching me walk out. And I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. Oh my God, please don't hurt me. And so my dean stopped to talk to my bio teacher. Because me and my bio teacher are close. We're good friends. Because she's best friends with my favorite teacher, who was my bio 1 teacher my sophomore year. It'd be a little easier if I said names to connect dots, but I can't, and I won't. But so my counselor's walking me out, and so I had a meeting the next morning, and the meeting went really well. I just talked to my counselor, and the girl dean actually just never showed up. But so I was like, well, to get these detentions done, because you do them every lunch period. My lunch is 4th, so I would do it at one every. It would pretty much take 2 weeks to get done because you have to do 9 days. And so I was like, well, can I honestly just serve them during my off periods? Like, can I serve them 2nd, 9th, and 4th? So we go to my dean and ask, and he goes, "Normally we don't do that, but because you have been such a good," he was like, "I'll let you do it this time." So I did 2 yesterday, so I only have to do 2 minus 9. I only have to do 7 more, so I'll be done within 2 days, and I'll be done by next Tuesday. And as long as I go to English, I'll be okay to get my lab aiding back, and yeah, so I guess it wasn't that day was bad, but I guess the after effect is I'm fine. I'm just working really hard on English and writing essays and stuff because I missed a good amount of stuff. When you're gone for 6 days, you normally miss a lot of stuff. Overall, I should have just been honest with my English teacher and confronted him about my issues, been like, "I'm having a hard time, can we figure something out?" Instead of ditching, but I chose a different way that didn't work, so yeah. But this year, it was okay. It hit me for the first day, and then I'm pretty much fine. I did have to go talk to, my 9th period teacher already knew what happened because I'm so close with her that I told her, literally the second it happened. But I did have to go to my 2nd period teacher and explain, and she was really supportive. She was really understanding, and she was like, "I miss you already, and I just want you to come back. So do what you need to do, and I'll see you in a week." So yeah, I'm really hoping maybe by the 26th I'll have my privileges back, but I don't know. I don't really want to stress about it. I just want to worry one day at a time. That is all for this video. I know it's a long video. It's 15 minutes, but I'm sorry. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will see you next time.